in 12, so I'll talk about the top 15. Retire and spectate. Is YouTube on here?
No, don't worry about that. I'll check it here.
Okay.
Because you get that.
Oh, the interference, huh? Hey, my love. Okay. But I'm gonna have to. Can I log into my Facebook? I have to log out of yours. Right, welcome everybody. This is the 5th round of the BMW series, second last round as well. So while our drivers are busy practicing, I'm gonna skip through a few of them, and I will be going through the first. Let's go through where we are. So today the guys will be racing at Alton Park. Alton Park is actually situated in England. about 8 kilometers long, and it's nearby a railway connection, apparently. That's what I hear. So about the circuit, it is characterized by rapid changing gradients, blind crests, and several tight corners. The full circuit is 2.8 miles, so 4.8 kilometers. So I don't know where I got that previous stat. Maybe that was somewhere around. The highest parts of the course is the hilltop. There's paddock facilities are in large areas. The racetrack can be adapted to a shorter course as well. That's about 2.7 kilometers long. I'm sure you guys don't want to go through the history of this right now, but yeah, what we can do is let me go through the standings. So for the overall BMW standings, at the top of the list we have Turbo Charles from Team Tosco. They're currently sitting on 180 points. In second place, Silverback Racing and their drivers Bruno, sitting on 126 points. Quite a substantial gap between 1 and 2. Right underneath him in third place we've got Ninja Racing Team, Jakes. Jakes is sitting on 119 points. Not a big gap, so this race might be crucial for that. Then in fourth place we've got Silverback Racing and their driver is Marius. Marius is sitting on 104 points. Then, my bad, Louis is sitting on 104 points in Tosco 2. Marius is sitting in 5th for Silverback Racing at 83 points. Another big gap between those two. So it looks like there might be a fight between 2, 3, 4. Let's see if Charles can stay ahead, because if he actually I'm not going to say it, commentators curse. Let's just carry on. After that, in 6th place we've got Gerard in Tosco 2 again. His teammate sitting nicely in 4th. Gerard's there in 6th, not a big gap, so he's sitting on 82 points. So him and Gerard have a point between them. Then sitting in 7th place we've got Tosco 1. That is, their driver is Dirk. Dirk is sitting on 70 points currently. Flat Rabbit Racing we've got Duppy. Duppy's sitting there on 60. Then in 9th we've got CPT boys. Ash, I wonder if he represents with the youngster CPT, I don't know. Ash is sitting on 48 points. Then we've got DNA Racing. Jock is sitting on 44 points. Team Synergy, Yolan is currently sitting on 39 points. Then we have in 12th Green Mambas Racing, Dylan, the founder, the owner, the chairman. He's sitting on 36 points. Then in 13th place from Fad Muckers we've got Ross. Ross is sitting on 35, so it's a close one there between Ross and Dylan. Daycall we've got Colin in 14th. He's sitting on 32 points. And then in the 15th spot we've got another teammate here, Team Synergy, Rudy. He's sitting on 31 points. So that's the top 15 standings currently. So I'm sure after tonight's race we might see a little bit of up, a little bit of down, but yeah, let's get on with the racing. As welcome to the people that are in the room. I hope my commentating hasn't been so bad, but I hope you guys enjoyed the race. I went through the standings. I went through a little bit of a background of the track here at Alton Park. The weather is sunny but it's cold, so let's see what the drivers' tactics are, and I hope we have a good race. Thanks for the compliment on the commentary, guys. I'll try my best. So we've got about a minute and a half, just under a minute and a half left of the practice, and then we'll get into a 5-minute qualifier, and then we'll get into the race. So I hope you guys stay tuned. I hope, like I said, it's a good race, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be back shortly. No pressure, none at all. I got this. I hope the drivers do too. So guys, I think the guys are gonna come in now. So this is the qualifying laps. Let's see what we got. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be changing through views, try and keep you guys up with the action. It's a little bit harder by myself, so if it sounds like I go quiet, it's maybe because I'm thinking. I don't know, but enjoy it, guys. I'll try and make it as fun as possible as well. Right now we're on board with Ash. Ash there, I think, is warming up the tires. I think all the guys will be so we've got Turbo Charles. Turbo Charles already has a time penalty against his name there for speeding out the pits. So already, like I mentioned to you guys, if you were listening, I have the total scores here. So Turbo Charles is currently sitting on 180 for his team for Tosco 1. So we'll have to see how that plays against him, maybe, if everybody else races like bats out of hell tonight. I mean, but Turbo Charles has put in good performances. I mean, I've commentated a couple of times already, and he's really put in the work. His experience shows, and I think his tactics is the main thing. So right now we're on board. We're moving over to Dup. Dup's one of my personal favorites, I think. I don't know why. He just seems to just always be up there, and I like that. Slug it out, consistent. Let's hope he puts in a big performance tonight. Marius is also racing pretty well this season. He's currently sitting in 5th, so we need a big one from him as well. Then we've got, do we have Gerard in 3rd. That's who we got. Gerard there, going off the track a little bit. Oh, losing a little bit of control. Oh, kept it well, maintained well. Really came through that corner alright. I thought things were going to go worse there. So as you can see now, I'm busy moving over to Turbo Shoal. He's got a red against his name, being for speeding out the pit. And now we're on board with another time penalty, I think. So right now let's go over to Dylan. So Dylan is obviously the host for this race, and he runs Sarko, and I work with Dylan, and I also do this commentating on the side just to help him out, and I see how much work he puts in, and I think it's starting to pay off. I think he's really put in the work, and he's starting to see the benefits. Also, let's hope he puts in a big performance tonight. So guys, as usual, once the race the qualifier is done, we're going to go into the first heat, second heat, and then afterwards, if everybody hangs around, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the lobby, and we'll chat with probably the top 3 to 5 people. Let's see how many people stay around and want to chat, and we'll just get the drivers' insights on how it all went. So we've got about 5 seconds of this session remaining, and then it's on. So right here we've got some action, as you can see there. I thought it said 5 seconds remaining, now it's jumped to a minute 40, so I will put that down to Wi-Fi. Dylan has a Thrustmaster, by the way. I don't know, he can't hear you. I'm replying and everything for him. So as you can see there, Yolan's in the pit, Bruno's pitting, Jakes is pitted, Marius is in the pit behind closed doors, Dylan's pitted, number 12, who's number 12? TNV. The vet. So Biodroid, it's a T300 to be specific. The T3PA add-on to be exact. You just saw your post now, so they're going into the race now, guys, so let's all buckle up and hope for a good race.
Right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Welcome to round number 5. Really excited for this event. We might need to have a little break directly after this, as I'm feeling the pressure. Please, guys, we do not need a repeat of what happened previously. Let's keep the race tidy, keep the attitudes tidy, and let's just go racing. Enjoy. Okay, guys, mic's off when you're ready. Let's go racing.
Right, welcome everybody to round 5 of the BMW series. Things are really heating up. In the practice round I went through all the positioning the top 15, and off we go. We've got a slow start in the front there by Quicksilver. There we go. We've got some overtaking. It's tight still, just coming into the first turn. We've got some people tailing each other there. It's really close. Let's see once they come around this turn. It looks like everybody's easing themselves out. What we have here in the front is Jake's. We actually have a collision here, which I'm going to now. The Dylan is actually had a collision. I don't know what actually happened, but I hope we can get that on the replay. He's pulling himself back up, but right now I'm going to go back to second place, where we've got a fight on here between Bruno and Jakes. This is a tight competition between these two boys, so let's see where it goes. I think I'm going to stay here for a while, and yes, I hope we all enjoyed this. Here they come up that hill like I explained earlier in the practice rounds, and this track is actually really tricky. I mean, there's some fast straights and you come into really sharp turns, as you can see here, the guys going through. Right here we're on board with Iceman. Iceman is pulling up onto 5th place, and it's all pretty congested at the moment. As you can see, I've got races all over, I've got incidents happening all over here. Right now I'm on board with Dup. Dup is chasing hard. Like I said, I would like a big performance from him tonight. Right there we have Devet's coming around the corner there. He's chased tightly there by Turbo Charles. Remember, Turbo Charles so far back, I think, because of his time penalty for speeding in the pits. Let me go back up to Quicksilver here. That is actually Turbo Charles' teammate, so the way the total points are looking here, the guys are doing well. And it looks like Quicksilver's pulling a little bit of a head. What I'm going to do is jump back to second place here, where we've actually got a little bit of a fight on between second and third. So let's see where this actually pans out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change on to Bruno, follow from here. Lovely shot of the guys coming around the corner there. Lights on. Like I said, it's going to be clear skies all day, but it is cold, so the guys' tyre compound might be a little bit tricky. I wonder what strategies they went with, but what we'll do is afterwards we'll find out. Had another incident here where Dylan's off the track. I think he might be gone. Changed over to Rudy, who's sitting in 11, sorry, my bad. Iceman in here, this is quite a congested group. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in with them and see where this goes. Lovely shot there of all the same colour cars, Tosca 2 and Tosca 1. Okay, no, stop here. It's gonna stop. There we go.
Back.
Okay. So, as I said, guys, we had a bit of a collision there, and unfortunately we've lost the man. Dylan's down, and fortunately, hey, there we go. Actually, what happened right there was Iceman actually got pushed straight off the track. So yes, unfortunately, like I was saying there, Dylan's out the race. Did too much damage to his vehicle, so I'm hoping I can get him up in the commentary booth and maybe have a partner, so let's give that a bash. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump up here to second place. I see there's some action happening here. In second place we've got Jakes. Let me actually just go through the top. So at top we've got Quicksilver over here for Team Tosco. Then we've got Jakes sitting in second. Bruno's not far behind him, keeping the heat on. Then we've got another Team Tosco member there, sitting in fourth. Got a bit of a gap. Let's see how far he pushes up on to third, onto Bruno. Then in fifth we've got Jakes. Sixth we've got Marius. From Marius we've actually got a tight group here where we can actually see Iceman overtaking Marius there. Great shot of that. Oh, Marius kept the line while pushed him out. Some really skillful racing over there. Then we move down to Duppy. Duppy there holding off Turbo Shoal, I don't know how long he can hold him off for until Turbo Shoal actually makes his move. Like I said, Turbo Shoal's that far back due to that time penalty for speeding in the pits. And like I said, I'm going to try and get Dylan into the commentary. So I think I succeeded. So Dylan, what happened?
How's it, guys? Well, I got such a great start coming off the line there, and I basically panicked, got myself really into a terrible place on the track, hit the brakes, lost the rear, and went backwards, and was just pushing too hard to try and make my way back down the track, and lost it coming out of turn number 2 and put it straight into the wall. Had 20 engine damage, but unfortunately the front bumper was at 100% and way too much suspension damage. So I thought I'd come and jump in the commentary box here with you, Jared.
Thanks for joining me, because it is stressful talking to yourself the whole time. But yeah, you can actually help me with more of the technical side, so I'm glad you're here. And we're on lap 4 currently, and I'm on board with Bruno. Bruno was closing in on Quicksilver, but then now Quicksilver's actually opened a bit of a gap, and I'm actually going to move to Turbo Shoal because he's pushing up the line. What's your experience with Turbo Shoal, your background with him?
Well, Shoal's always been way too fast for me. There has been one race where I was able to keep him at bay. Unfortunately, that race did not count, so technically it never happened. But Shoal, with him having racing experience and basically being our racing celebrity here, he really does come here and he really enjoys racing with us, but he definitely sets the bar very high.
So I don't know if you want to go through, while I'm going over the track here, if you want to go through a bit of the course for the fans.
Yeah, sure. If you just give us a bit of a bonnet view, let's possibly jump on Quicksilver. Let's have our race leader take us on a trip around this track.
Take it away.
Right, cool. So essentially he's come through turn 3, this little kink and island bend, literally a little tap off, turning in the nose in, hard on the brakes here into turn number 5, the Shell Oil corner. You see the camera on this corner is very tight, and it does allow for quite a good exit speed. Here it's a little kink is turn number 6, and hard into the brakes here into Britain's little combination of 7, 8. This is turn number 9. Then up hilltop. Now you're looking for that little pink sign on the right hand side, onto the brakes, turning right into turn number 11. Little hill slop is turn 11. Through Knickerbrook is turn 12. Then back on the power. I saw that Dirkie took a very tight line there, not wanting to go wide there. Where he's just gone through now was turn 13. This is Water Tower at 14. Druids corner, very tricky. You kind of turn it in, make it a one corner, keep that power on. Down through Warwick Bridge. Then this tricky turn number 16 at Lodge Corner, hard on the brakes, get the nose in, and you see that the corner kind of fades away from you. Then a down Deer Leap, and to cross the line to begin another lap.
So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to go through the top 3, and while I go through the top standings, I wonder if Dylan could help me with the overall table and what it would do as the currently stand right now. So currently in first we've got Quicksilver, that's Team Tosco, am I right?
Yeah, so that is Dirkie driving with Tosco 1. He is currently sitting 8th in the championship. The person we're actually wanting to see is Bruno. Here you can see starting to close that gap here on Dirkie. Bruno is currently 2nd in the championship, and he's just behind Shoal, who's leading this championship. Shoal still down in a 7th position. Just have a quick look there. He too starting to close that gap there on Marius. And we see Jakes, who's also starting to put some pressure here on Jacques Racing from DNA Racing.
That's it, and I would like to see, like I said to the fans earlier, a nice performance from Dupi, but I see he's not up there tonight, sitting in 8th place. I don't know why. He must be like a personal favourite of mine. I think I just like his name.
We see a little comment there from Ash. Sorry, Ash. We never quite like a disconnect, but I'm glad that you decided to come and join in the race and see exactly what your fellow racers are up to. We can see some action happening here.
I think the guys are closing out. I think it's Turbo Charles is pushing up. He's pushing hard on Marius. Turbo Charles was sitting down in 12th when the race actually got off, and he's pushing his way up nicely.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he started off in 12th place. I know he did get a 1 second, a 1 place penalty speeding in the pits, but maybe he didn't get a lap in.
Could be. I see, and also Bruno's pushing hard there on Durkee, so I think come the closing laps of this, I think he's going to push even harder to try and take him.
Yeah, but interesting enough, if you have a look at their last 2 laps each, you can see Durkee did do a 0.2 of a second quicker than him. So unfortunately, Bruno is losing a bit of pace from him. Yep.
I see there in 3rd place we've got what's that, a red mark against someone's name, a time penalty.
So that would be some sort of penalty that they have picked up. And just, who was that? That looked like Durkee.
Yeah.
It was Durkee, he went off. You can see all of a sudden that gap jumped from 1.2 seconds all the way down to 0.6.
Let's close the gap.
So Bruno is definitely going to start putting some pressure here on Durkee.
It's already dropped down to 5.5, 0.4. Bruno's going to push hard now. I see if you move down further into the pack there by Marius, there's some action happening there. I think it's...
Yeah, so Marius has closed that gap to Jakes. He's within 0.5 of a second. And we can see just behind him, there's a Turbo Charles. He too is starting to get within a second. That's why we keep getting that little notification up on the side there. There's a Dupi from TTR. He too is starting to put pressure. Let's just jump back to the leaders, because I see that gap has gone down to 0.2 seconds.
Bruno might try to take it down straight, we don't know.
Crossing the line to begin a lap at number 8.
And like I mentioned to everybody out there, it's a dry day, but it's cold, so I did see the guys busy trying to get their tyres as warm as possible before the race. Hope by now
most definitely.
By now the tyres should be warm enough for Bruno to actually give it a real good push.
So if we have a look at the top of the screen, we can see that it's actually only 1/2 of the tyres are actually warm, and that's because majority of this track is a clockwise track, which means that your left-hand tyres would heat up a little bit quicker than the right.
This is a very tight track. Like I said to everybody, I see there's a couple of tight combinational turns, and that can be tricky, as we can see there, especially for the racers that are trying to give it too much.
Yes, most definitely. The little chicane section is extremely tricky. Is that it is a 2 braking part to it. Is that as you entering into turn number 10, you on the brakes, turning the car in, but then you want to be able to hit those brakes again and then keep the momentum going through that little chicane.
And as you could see there, I think Durkee perfected that there, because ever since they came through that tight little chicane there, he's opened up a gap again on Bruno.
Most definitely. Bruno had closed that gap down, but you see Durkee's just starting to pull a little bit away there.
I think Turbo Charles really pushing on Marius.
So we still see there's like 0.5 seconds, but that's actually Marius starting to get all over the back of Jakes. So let's just jump. Well, that's Jakes is unfortunately spun out.
There goes Jakes. That's not good for Jakes, but he's brought himself back quite well. Hasn't lost too much.
But now that Marius under pressure from Charles going into
Marius kept
1.
him out there. Closed the door on him. It looked like Turbo Charles was actually going to try and make a move. This is where it gets interesting, where you've got an experienced racer like Turbo Charles.
Whoa, you see Marius coming off the curb.
Turbo Charles got him. He's taken him.
Charles moved himself ahead of Marius, so Charles moves up into 5th. Just wanted to see what happened to Jakes. Now Jakes is unfortunately a little bit too far away, so he hasn't been able to take that position over Morris as well.
That was a great take there by Turbo Charles. He's jumped from 7th to 5th.
I just want to jump here to 4th and 5th. Sorry, to 3rd and 4th. That's Jacques Racing. He's chasing down Gerard from Tosco 2.
This is going to be interesting if it had to stay like this, because we just have to see what his time penalty is for.
Most definitely. So generally, if you run off the track and you actually gain some time, the time penalties vary from a 1 to 2 second penalty, and depending on how often you actually cause the offense, is that you can get up to a 10-second penalty, and that would be from coming into the pits too quickly or taking a shortcut. I've seen up to 41 seconds as a penalty.
It's crazy. That takes you from first to last in an instant.
Just about, yes.
So as you can see there, Dirkie's opening a real big gap now on Bruno. I don't know what
let's just have a look there. So we are on the final lap, and Dirkie is definitely in control, but there was that moment where Bruno was right up behind him, but Dirkie kept that momentum.
I think he brought himself better through the turns, where that's where Bruno lost his time. I think Bruno was pushing too hard, came in maybe to the turns too fast.
Yeah, that's pretty much that, overdriving this car, especially on this track. The temperature's cold, and if you do miss your braking marker and you lock up, you definitely waste a lot of time.
So like Dylan mentioned, we are in the last lap, and Dirkie has that 1 second lead over Bruno, so that's pretty much, you can't really say it's ever pretty much done.
No, listen, on this track anything can happen. I'd rather not have the commentators curse on either one of these drivers.
That's it. I was actually busy speaking about Turbo Charles earlier, and before I actually said his name and everything, I stopped and I was like, I'm not going to do this. That's a great shot there of the guys coming.
Well, we see that's exactly that. That was Dirkie went very wide.
I saw that in his
coming out of that corner. So that was Drude's very tricky corner, and across the line, Dirkie will win.
Dirkie wins this one. Well done, Dirkie. In second place,
Bruno will come in second. Let's just jump to Gerard as he crosses the line. That's a Jacques Racing flashing.
Lovely shots of those coming around there.
And we see that Jacques Racing, he actually gets the position ahead of Gerard.
That's it, I thought
jump
so.
Jump to Charles. Right behind Charles, we see that was Marius that came home. Then we've got Dupi, he crosses line in 8th. Jake's down in 9th place, you'll be disappointed with that. Well, big power slide there by Jake's. Then Rudy, he too will come through the last couple of corners. Then behind Rudy, we've got the TNB's Turbos and Bullets, Devet. And finally, in 12th position, we have Yolan.
Right, guys, thanks for joining us for the first heat. And Dylan, thanks for joining me in the commentary booth. I hope your second heat is a success, man. I really hope so.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'd much rather be racing than commentating at this moment.
I'm sure.
And Ash, we'll see you on the track.
Good luck, Ash. So as you see the last pictures of the guys coming around there, I'm going to go get something to drink, and I'll join you guys shortly.
just stay there. It was always a 1 second, 1.2, 1 second, 1.2. Okay, guys, I've just re-invited Ash in the group because he unfortunately disconnected. As soon as he's there, he is. So as soon as he's in, we can get going.
Welcome to the people that are here. So as you can hear, Dylan busy talking in the background there. Right, the guys are getting ready, I can hear, and I'm back by myself. Dylan's going to try and race this one to the end. If anybody crashes out, I'll do the same thing. I'll try and get them in, and so that I'm not talking here alone. But until that time, you guys are my only people that I can talk to, so enjoy. Let's see what do they do in this heat, guys. That one even got me sweating, that last race, just from commentating. So in the first heat, because Dylan was out, he obviously took you through the more technical side, should I say, of this course and everything. So let's just sit back and enjoy this one together. So right now we're going to go through the 5-minute qualifier, and after the 5-minute qualifier we get down to the business. So enjoy. What I'll do is, so you guys can see the full track, I'm going to jump on board here straight out the pits so we get a fresh start, and take it away, Devet. There we go, we're on board with Devet. He's going to take us around the track so you guys can see it again. Like we were saying, some tight turns, some fast straights where the drivers, I think, actually going too hard, and that's what's causing a little bit of the confusion, should I say, or the accidents, or the off the tracks that's happening. The guys' tires are really cold still. Like I mentioned, it's really cold outside, so it's interesting to see how the guys actually on the straights, if they actually swing out and actually try and get their tires warm prior to actually racing. But I'm sure everybody knows what they're doing. Obviously they know more than me. I don't even know how to race this in this game, but here I am commentating. So to the people that are watching and that have just joined us now, we are going through the BMW. It's the 5th round, so it's the second last round, and this is the second heat. We are currently on board with Devet. He's taking us around the track here, seeing how tight these turns are and how the drivers underestimate the speeds that they can go at in the straight before they get to these turns. Lovely shot there of the bonnet. And then yes, let's go. Who can we go to? Let's go here to Dylan. Unfortunately, Dylan on the last heat, he actually crashed out and decided that he had too much damage done to the vehicle, and actually came and joined me in the commentary booth where he gave you guys some more information. And I should have actually interviewed him a little bit more, but we'll get into that, like I said to you guys, after the race, if you stick around, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go back into the lobby and interview the guys and take their views and from the winners and see what their tactics were. Trust me, if Turbo Shoal gets a good start, you're going to see a different top 3. But I ain't saying nothing. We've got 2 minutes left of this qualifier, and then, like I said, it's back to business. As you can see on the top right there, the guys, Devet's tyres are actually starting to warm up. Actually, we're not on with Devet, we're on with Dylan. His tyres are actually starting to warm up there, and like he explained in the last one, because this track is designed the way it is, your left tyres actually get warmer quicker than the right. Right now, I'm going to go trackside with our previous heat winner, Dirkie. Dirkie had a really good race. I think he raced these corners really well. I think that's what he focused on, maybe. We'll ask him later. And it came out proving the right strategy. As you can see, his tyres are already warming up, so maybe that's also that. His nice power slide there. I think he's really trying to get his tyres as warm as possible before they start. So we've got a minute left, and you guys enjoy this view, and I will be back with you within the minute. Welcome back, everybody. We're down to 5 seconds of this qualifier, and after these 5 seconds we're going into the race, and it's down to the business. 10 laps of high-paced action. So some of the guys have already pitted. As you can see there, Bruno's in the pits, Iceman's in the pit, Jake's is in the pit, Ash has some competition, Rudy's in the pit, I'm in the pits. Oh wait, my car's not there. Just joking. But that could have been me. Gerard's in the pits. Lovely shot there, the car. I like that design. Not as much as I like this one, the green Mambas. My favorite color is green. I love green. Green is good. Everything that's green is good. So for the last guys coming in now, we've got about a minute 10 seconds left. And then it's on. And then everybody is here now. Not there now, they're here now. For everybody that is listening, I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am, as you can hear. I like talking to myself. At least I like the sound of my own voice. That's always a good thing. Right now, as you can see, Dylan's tyres are really getting warm. Left, a lot greener than the right. Like he explained, they're a lot warmer quicker. But the rights aren't so bad. That's where I think Dirkie's idea of power slides and that, just to give that little bit of extra heat on the back. As I could see Dylan try to do the same thing there. Everybody is racing from South Africa except for us, man. Right, so that's the standings. We've got Turbo Shoal in first. Second, we've got Gerard. Third, we're sitting with Dirkie. Fourth place, Marius. Fifth place, Bruno. Sixth place, Jock. Seventh place, Osman. My bad, it cut out. Like I said, 7th place, Osman. 8th place, Jakes. 9th place, Dylan. 10th place, Yolan. Okay, then in 11th place we've got Dup. In 12th place we have Devet. 13th place Ash. Unfortunately Ash got disconnected the last time. Let's hold thumbs for him. And then in 14th place we've got Rudy. So guys, let's get on board with Turbo Shell to start this race, and off they go. Good luck, gentlemen. Turbo Shell with a great start there. Like I said, if Turbo Shell gets a good start and he gets going, we'll definitely see a different top 3. Dirkie, his teammate, right behind him over there. As you can see, let's jump on board with Gerard. Gerard there sitting in 3rd place. 1 and 2's opened a bit of a gap on him there, and he's starting to clear a gap there from Marius, who's sitting in 4th place. In 5th place we got Bruno. 6th place Jakes, but this is really congested up here. 7th place we're sitting with Iceman. Then we've got Dupi in 8th. Come on Dupi, get up there. After that we've got De Vet sitting in 9th place. Rudy in 10th. Yolan in 11th. Ash in 12th. Dylan sitting in 13th place, and Jock is sitting in 14th. Right now I'm going to jump back with your leader, Turbo Shell. What I'm going to do is jump to 2nd. 2nd there might be some heat, but I think the heat is actually coming from Gerard. Gerard's pushing up there on Dirkie, and let's hope he gives him a race. Jumping down to Bruno. Bruno's not going to like the position that he's sitting in, especially after the last heat where he ended up 2nd. So he's really going to push hard. I think he's going to give Marius a hard time. Jake's not so... oh, and there we had a problem, and I think it is Jake's. No. Gerard spun out. I think Gerard is out, and I think he just spun again. Don't know exactly what's happening there with Gerard, but let's get back to the top. Right now we're sitting with Marius and his teammate Turbo Shell. They're really pulling out a gap now. I think that gap could have come there with a mistake done by Gerard. Hopefully he can start pushing his way back, but I think damage is done there. On board with Bruno. Bruno and Marius sitting in 3rd and 4th. See, Bruno's really putting on the pressure. Can Marius keep him out though? Bruno's really going to gun for those top 2 positions, if I know him well. Now we're on board with Jakes. Jakes is pushing hard, but he's also getting some pressure there from Iceman. Iceman's not giving up. We got Dupi riding in his own place here, sitting in 7th. No one's really close to him. Ooh, went a little bit wide. Don't understand why he was pushing there. Back on track, but I don't know what that's going to do to his time. Right now we're on board with Ash, who is pushing on Dupi. His eyes must have lit up when he saw Dupi go off the track like that. But unfortunately he couldn't gain a position, or should I say a place. I think he's just gained some time. Dylan's now pushed his way back up to 9th position, as we can see him coming down the track there. Like I said, Green Mamba's favourite colour, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. One of my favourite races as well. Maybe it's because he's my best friend. So yeah guys, let's move back up to our top, where we can see Turbo Shell has pulled a 2-second gap on his teammate Marius over here. On Dirkie, sorry. And why I say that is Marius is actually starting to close the gap on Dirkie, but yet Bruno is still pushing hard. I don't know if that's why Marius is racing this hard, because Bruno's right on his tail. Lovely shot to the guys coming around the corner there. As you can see, Bruno looked like he wanted to open it up, but then close it back in for the turns. Like I said guys, it's a real tricky track. A lot of turns, a lot of braking needed. Guys got to keep their wits about them and not try and overdo it. Dylan's pushed himself up into 8th position now, racing really hard, loving the commitment and the dedication from him. Now we move to Ash. Ash is in 7th place, but Dylan's pushing really hard. Dylan taking it really close there. Ash just kept him out. Let's keep an eye on these 2 races for a while, because it looks like it's getting really competitive down here in the bottom section. Everybody is racing their hearts out here. It's championship points, it's title points. I mean, you've only got 2 weeks time, the last round, and then the winner will be crowned. So everybody's racing their hearts out. Everybody needs to gain points. Dylan keeping it really tight there, but right behind Dylan we've got Jakes. But Dylan, oh, we had a bit of a collision there. The guys have gone off track. Dylan's got real bad damage on the front, but Ash is still in front of him. Not sure exactly what happened there. We'll have to speak to the racers after and find out, get their views about that. As you can see, Turbo Shoal pulling out a real gap here. 3 seconds to his teammate, and like I said to you guys, if this man's in the clear, it's over. I'm on board now with Dirkie. Dirkie there, I think he's going to try and just... What happened to Turbo Shoal that Dirkie pulled such a time? He had about a 3 second and all of a sudden it's down to 1. So I'm going to stick with Turbo Shoal a little bit. Maybe he spun out a little bit, maybe he took a corner too wide, but that's good for number 2. Right now we've got Morris is actually sitting in 4th. So in the time that I was watching that tight race between Dylan and Ash, Bruno has actually jumped Morris, and I called that. I said Bruno's going to push hard. He's not going to want to give away second spot or first spot, so he's going to push hard on Morris, and I didn't know if Morris could actually keep him off. Doopy's pulled himself nicely up into 5th place. Like I said to you guys before, personal favourite. I think maybe it's because I like his name, but yeah, he's sitting pretty in 5th and doing the business. Down in 6th we've got Jock. Jock was actually behind Dylan and Ash, and I think during that whole collision took them, and Dylan has actually overtaken Ash. As you can see, the bad damage that he did sustain during that accident, at least the motor's still running and he didn't have to come off the track this time. Could have done with a spare commentator, but hey, next time will be, I'm sure next time I've got Savvy back. So Dylan sitting in 7th, Ash we've got in 8th. We've got 3 time penalties down there. We're not quite sure yet exactly why, but we'll get back to those races afterwards. Here we're sitting back with our race leader, still sitting with a 1.3, 1.4 second gap over his teammate. And as you can see here, this race is still quite tight between Bruno and Dirkie. Bruno is pulled in, and these first 3 have pulled away from the gap, from the rest of the pack. I don't know why Morris is so... Morris isn't that far behind. My bad. Camera angles. So Morris is still pushing on Bruno, which is a good thing. So these top 4... Oh, there. Whoa, Morris. What happened to Morris? There, oh, he pulled himself back, thank goodness, just before that accident. So Morris is back on track. Now he's going to lose some time, definitely to Bruno, because I know Bruno's going to push hard. So I'm going to jump back with Bruno. Because like I mentioned, guys, these first 3 are really pulling away from the gap there. You can see the gaps between them. It's almost like they're cementing their places. I'm not going to talk too soon because we're only halfway through the race. We're actually only on lap 5. But it should stay like that. Let's move further down where we've got Doopy now. I wonder if Doopy's closed a bit of time when Marius went off the track like that. And what his tactic is his tactic now, race all out for championship points or stay in 5th? You never know. Jock's coming up there where you can see he loves his shot with his lights on. I think he wants to push up a little bit harder, get some better points for the overall team. Dylan's sitting in 7th, as you can see the damage there. This could be a similar tactic if he goes with it as Doop, rather get the championship points in 7th position, then try and push for 6th and actually lose it, or crash. So I guess he's got to get into a nice rhythm now and actually just see out the race. We've got some action here between Gerard, who pulled himself all the way from last with going off the track there, pulled himself into 9th. Those time penalties didn't help Rudy, Yolan and De Wet. So as you can see there, Gerard pulled himself into 9th and he's pushing tightly on Ash. Dylan's pulled a gap on Ash, so like I said, that tactic might be a little bit different. Jock's sitting in the same boat as Doopy. Does he push? Does he hold? We don't know. Bruno, I'm sure he's gutting it out. As you can see there on the right hand side, pulling in his time against Dirkie. So I'm going to stick with these top 3 for the next 2 to 3 laps, because it might get interesting. Ooh, there Dirkie went a little bit wide. on that turn, but so did Ash. So I'm wondering what it affected on the times. As you can see, our race leader sitting pretty out there in front, not a care in the world. All he needs to do is set a routine, and he's got this. Second place, Dirkie, his teammate, this is going to do well for their overall team standings, is opened a gap on Bruno. Yeah, opened the gap on Bruno. I think Bruno was pushing a little bit hard, and yeah, I think there might have been something happened there, because there's a big gap now. But I don't see Bruno losing third place if anything happens. Morris coming up in fourth, but I don't know, I think Bruno's got too much in it. He's going to try and close that time, but I doubt that he'll be able to catch our race leader now. Seventh place, we've still got Dylan. I'm still just checking on him just to see the damage, see if they're actually going to pull him off. So should I go through the race positions? First place we've got Turbo Scholl. Second place Quicksilver, Dirkie. Third place Bruno. Fourth place we've got Marius. Fifth place we've got Doopy. Sixth place Jock. Jock's also got a little bit of damage done to him over there. Seventh place we've got Dylan coming around the turn there with a lot of damage. In eighth place we've got Gerard. We've lost the race, I'm sure someone due to disconnect or so. Eighth place now we've got Gerard. In ninth place we have Rudy. In 10th place Ash, and in 11th place we have De Wet. These guys have set their routine, set their races. Turbo Scholl knows where he messed up on the last one. He's not going to do it again. Bruno over here, Bruno must be disappointed. He was so close in the first heat to taking first place from Dirkie, and then he lost some time, I think, in the turns, and then I think he was so close again to taking second place from Dirkie, and went too hard in the turns again and lost some position. But as you can see in that shot, he's actually closing in now on Dirkie quite well. Jeez, lah. Here we go. I think we've got a race on our hands, people. Bruno's really gunning it now for Dirkie, and I think he's going to try and open it up now on this last two laps. He's gone wide, but he's pulled himself in. Dirkie kept his line well there, raced hard. When it all comes down to it at the end of the day, these guys have been racing together for some time, so they do know each other, they do know how each other races, and Dirkie would know Bruno's tactics, know that he wants to go, but Bruno's trying to take him on the inside. Does he have enough power? No, he doesn't. Unfortunately, Dirkie kept him out, but Bruno's not going to give up, trust me. This is turning out to be a real competitive race here for second, as you can see, where Turbo Scholl has pulled himself way out front, and I think now Dirkie's trying to keep Bruno straight on third position and not give him any ground. With this little fight happening here, I'm sure the drivers are losing some time, and as you can see, coming around there, Marius is closing in, but I don't think he's going to have enough to finish it off. Guys, I'm going to just stick with these two. This race is heated up in this first two, and maybe what the middle pack is doing is Doopy is pushing up on Jock. So that's pretty much what we've got there. All the other drivers are really spread out, going about their business. I'm back with the top three. Bruno here, giving it his all, needs more points, needs to take Turbo Scholl in the championship. So this third place isn't going to sit well with him. Oh, try to take it wide then and come in on the inside, but it didn't work. As they come around there to cross for the 9th lap, you can see there Bruno is really trying to get this over with. A lovely turn there of the camera straight onto the back of the drivers there. Lovely shot of them coming around that turn. This is quite a sharp turn there. Like I said, the guys mustn't overshoot these straights so that they power slide in the turns. As you can see on the top right hand side, tires are getting warm, left more than right. how do these guys finish this race? Let's give you guys a different view. There we go. We're in now with Bruno chasing on Dirkie. Lovely shot of him coming through that chicane there. Straight around, a little bit wide, nothing too hectic. Still keeping his time. We're coming into another tight chicane here. As Dylan mentioned, look for the pink sign on the right. Then start your brake. All keeping lines really well there, I must say. As we move to the bonnet of Bruno. Guys, this race, I'm sticking with these two. These two are pushing it. The rest of your positions haven't changed. You've got Morris in 4th, you've got Dupi in 5th, Jakes in 6th, Dylan in 7th, Gerard in 8th, Rudy in 9th, De Wet in 10th, Ash in 11th, first is Turbo Charles, and as we got these two. This is a really good race for second as they come around for the last lap, guys. This is the last lap. Bruno knows he's going to have to give it everything to get one on the guys. Here we go. I'm moving back to trackside. I'm excited. I'm starting to sweat. This is heating up. Love it. As you can see them coming around that tight corner there. This is that straight just before a tight chicane where I think Gerard opens, should I say Dirkie, opens up a gap here. Oh, it's really tight coming around that turn there. Bruno is pushing. This is those tight turns that I mentioned where the drivers actually can't overshoot or it's over for them. There's our race leader sitting pretty, but the race is on here. Bruno's still giving it his all, still pushing. Can't quite get a grip on getting past Dirkie. But never say never. It's not over till the fat lady sings. And as you saw in the last one, it wasn't over till it was over. Here comes our 2 and 3 still. Guys, this has been one exciting race, and I must say between second and third it's been real power. We've got some exciting stuff coming over here as the drivers coming to the final turns. Turbo Charles has crossed the line, and I can start giving you guys the full cap. In first place we've got Turbo Charles. Second place we've got Dirkie, lovely racing Dirkie. Bruno in third. Bruno put in a really good performance, pushed hard, well done Bruno. Marius in fourth, well done Marius. I see you might have spun out a little bit, gave Bruno a gap, but well done. Jock, we've got you sitting in fifth. Nice racing man, well done. Dupi, sixth. Came up from, I think you were in eighth to finish sixth, well done. Dylan in seventh, well played sir. Gerard, you had a bad spin out, great to come back from last position to end eighth. Rudy in ninth, I don't know, you've still got a time penalty against your name. And there we have De Wet, your bonnet's off, took some collision, time penalty against your name, and Ash sitting there in last place. Well done to everybody. If you guys do stay tuned, I'm moving into the lobby now. I'll get to speak to the top 3, top 5, get their views.
Yeah, I've got it. Thanks, Marius. I'm just waiting for the clock to run down.
How's it, guys? No, because it stopped. No. Wait, let me go back to the game.
You can stop it.
Won't work.
Yeah?
Won't work. No, okay. No, it's there now. Hi there, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and join us next week for the RSO1s in Imola.